back to the NFL, and this is really on the heels of a silly comment that Greg Jennings made yesterday. To be fair, I mean, that's the genesis of this, when Greg came out and said that he would take Justin Fields over Brock Purdy.
That was Daniel Jones.
Probably just a comical thing to say, but we'll get into that later on. We accept the fact that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in football.
Sure.
No one's arguing that. We accept the fact right now that Lamar Jackson is going to win his second MVP. No one argues that.
Right.
So if we take those two guys and we put them on the side for a moment as the 1 and 1A best quarterbacks in the moment in the NFL, it's an interesting question. Who would you take third? Do you take a Josh Allen third? Do you take a Justin Herbert, never won a playoff game? What do you feel about Tua?
Dak.
And then, of course, we get to Dak Prescott, the great regular season for Dallas. You got Jared Goff, led the Lions to, obviously, division title, an NFC Championship game. And then, of course, you have the guy that I'm going to support, Brock Purdy, who in his 2 years has only gone to back-to-back NFC Championship games. So this all kind of germinates from your original comment yesterday, so I have to put you on the spot. If we put Mahomes and Lamar aside, right now, today, not career, today.
Right now.
Who is the third best quarterback in the NFL? I'm sorry?
C.J. Stroud. Like, it's not even a question. When you talk about a guy who's done something very similar to what Joe Burrow has done in Cincinnati, and I'm not saying Joe Burrow because he is injured.
Fair enough, because he'd be a pretty good answer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what Joe Burrow did, he went to a situation that was dead to rights.
Yep.
And he revitalized that entire organization by going through the guy that's going to be playing this weekend in Patrick Mahomes, who we deem the best quarterback in all of football. When you look at C.J. Stroud, he is on that trajectory. He has revitalized the organization along with DeMeco Ryans and what he's been doing,
Sure.
been able to do at the head coach position. But he has given this team life, this organization life, something to cheer about with this fan base. And so when I look at that, what other quarterback has done that? Like, my argument with Brock Purdy, and don't misconstrue my words. Don't say I picked Justin Herbert over. I said he's a playmaker, and I would take him. However, you look at Brock Purdy, and he came into a situation that was kind of ready-made. All they needed was a steady Eddie quarterback. We've seen this with Jimmy Garoppolo. The one thing that we hadn't seen Jimmy Garoppolo do is finish the job. We haven't yet seen if Brock Purdy can finish the job. He finishes the job. Congratulations. I say he's a good quarterback.
Yes.
I say the ceiling for Brock Purdy is he is a good quarterback. The floor is, can he do this outside of the situation that he's currently in?
So, all right, so there's a lot to unpack there. On the C.J. Stroud thing, I would just ask, who's he playing this week?
Nobody.
Nobody,
Oh,
right. And how many touchdowns did he throw in the playoff game last week?
Wait.
Zero.
Wait.
I'm just asking the question. The offense scored 0 points in that game.
Well, if Brock Purdy and the 49ers were in the AFC and they had to play the Ravens, would they be playing this weekend?
Well, they got blown out by the Ravens about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
I know it's not possible, but we've seen that.
It's not possible. Although people have transitioned more and more these days.
Yeah.
Look, all right, so he took C.J. Stroud.
Yep.
And look, it's a silly argument because there's no right or wrong.
Right.
It's just an argument.
Have the conversation.
I'm arguing
five players here.
It's an interesting subjective conversation because C.J. Stroud's had 1 year in the NFL and a great year, but 1 year. Who would you pick there?
You got your
Let's. No, I don't have Flacco up here.
No?
I don't have Kenny Pickett or Mason Rudolph up here either. But I do have Dak Prescott. Dak, to me, is the third best quarterback in the NFL. Leading the league in touchdown passes, 4,000 yards on the season. I think arguably with the best thing that happened to Dak Prescott was losing that game to San Francisco in an embarrassing fashion. They come back and jump-started that offense. And mind you, multiple coordinators, 3 12-5 win seasons.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem with Dak Prescott is the defense has let him down to all.
Is that right? That the biggest problem with Dak Prescott is not the playoff interceptions, it's the defensive failures.
Totally defense.
Josh Allen accounted for 50 touchdowns.
And so I got graphics, right? And it's funny how this falls out there. I don't have to call it, Craig. Right? You were talking about his interceptions were 15 last year. Well, he dropped it down to 11 for the good people outside. So for me, it's Dak Prescott, his leadership, his stability, his ability right now with this Dallas Cowboys franchise.
Yeah.
You have a shot to contend for a playoff.
So I guess let me rephrase the question. Jacoby will get you in here as well. I'm going to rephrase it. As opposed to me saying to you, all right, who's the third best quarterback?
I mean, you asked me the question. I'm allowed to have my guy.
The point is, I don't like your answer.
Great.
I don't like your answer.
Obviously,
I'm searching, I'm fishing pushing for a certain answer, and I haven't gotten it yet.
Give it to us, Greg.
Well, Jacoby gets to
I
go.
get to talk.
All right, but
You talked about Adrian Griffin.
I want to rephrase the question for you, Jacoby.
Okay.
Again, put Lamar aside, put Mahomes aside. If those two guys can't be used, and you need a guy to win one game, a guy to lead you on one drive to win a game, who's your guy?
Two different questions.
See how the field goal
I'll say this.
Field goal post just.
There's
Don't
no
say
wrong
Dak,
question. The reason
please.
we're posing this is because there's 5 or 6 names that could possibly be there. Right?
Agreed. And
it's just a
Burrow's
debate
out
show, so I'm
only
not going to
'cause
tell
he's
you why
hurt.
you guys are wrong. But I'll also say this is Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers hurt.
Yes,
There's no
they're out.
magical world in which
Yep.
they're healthy.
Yep.
So I'm saying Josh Allen.
Okay.
Because
Bills
everyone says
fan.
the knock on him is always like, oh, the turnovers. He does that. but he does a lot of good things too. The deep ball throws, and the management of the offense, the short stuff to the side, and also what he can do with his legs. It's different than Lamar Jackson, but it's just as effective.
Yeah.
And I would say that if I needed one game right now, right now, my personal choice would be Josh Allen because of what I just saw 48 hours ago.
They lost you the game.
This is not about
Not
right or
Josh
wrong.
Allen.
This
That was
is
not Josh Allen.
everyone's entitled to. It's a subjective opinion, so I'm not looking to argue this. However, I'm going to go last.
Oh, okay.
And,
Go figure.
the reason I brought up that extra little caveat, because that's what you want out of a franchise quarterback, a great quarterback. That's what you get out of Lamar Jackson. That's what obviously you get more than anyone out of Patrick Mahomes. I also got that out of Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy did not play a good game, but now with the season on the line and having to go whatever it was, 70, 80 yards to win a playoff game and advance to a championship game, Brock Purdy had a very short memory, threw all the garbage out the window, and led San Francisco on a huge drive to win the game on the McCaffrey touchdown late. So to me, there's one guy left that I can trust in a big spot in a playoff game to lead a team to a touchdown while trailing. It's not Dak Prescott. That's been proven time and time again.
Not Josh Allen.
I'm getting around the
Okay,
table.
I'm
That's
sorry.
what I'm doing.
I just Jacoby's face.
By the
made
way,
me say it.
it might be C.J. Stroud at some point in his career. Great rookie season, but not just yet. And obviously, Josh Allen had a chance to do it and missed, Diggs wide open and underthrew Sri Lanka in the end zone. One guy was able to lead his team from behind with a couple minutes to go and win a playoff game. It wasn't Jordan Love. He threw the interception.
Yeah.
It was one guy, and that guy is Brock Joe Montana Purdy.
I forget who said it this year, but this is what Brock Purdy did. He's like, I am the arsonist to get credit for putting out the fire. It's like he put himself in that position. He played poorly all game.
I said it yesterday.
All game long. He played terribly, and now he gets credit for getting himself out of the hole that he made.
He better have been the player that stepped up.
And he was.
He was. I
So he
give
gets
him credit for
credit
that. No question.
Yeah.
Let's go inside the locker room and just go into the unit room and now watch the tape.
Yeah.
What is happening in that meeting room is, conversations are kind of like this. We were fortunate, guys.
Yep.
We were fortunate because if this mistake, they capitalize on this mistake. If they make this field goal, if they,
Yeah.
all those things. And we can say if Brock Purdy played a little bit better throughout the course of the
If
game.
Jennings doesn't run the wrong route.
Correct.
If
All
Debo doesn't get
we
hurt.
can say all those things.
Yeah.
But however, for me, when I look at what Brock Purdy did, was it great? Yes. In the moment where they needed him, to your point, to be better than what he was, he was exactly that.
And I think we should embrace that. That's all I'm saying.
I embrace that.
That's
if
it.
that's what you want me
So
I
we're embracing it.
Why?
We're embracing.
What
But
are
I'm
you
not.
embracing?
I'm not at all willing to say he's the third best quarterback. I do not embrace that.
And you're
I will take Josh Allen.
You're in I
I'll
lean
slide
more
over
towards
here.
Josh Allen than I do C.J. Stroud. But for me, Brock Purdy's the guy. You want to embrace?
No.
We don't have to.
No.
Hey there. Thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.